What's up, guys? Matthew here, your favorite vlog guy, and today I'm bringing another video. Today I'm bringing you a Wi-Fi battle. Wait, let me fix this. That's not looking good. Yeah, that's better. I'm bringing you a Wi-Fi battle, and again, it's against Just WiFi, also known as Jack. If you don't know him, go subscribe to him. Well, he's a really good YouTuber. He's growing. I think he just hit 500, so that's pretty nice. I got to battle him because we actually arranged a battle, but I didn't get to battle him right away, so I waited, I think, a day, and yeah, I was able to battle him. This is my new UU team. I really love it. I think this team fits my style. I have Arcanine, Choice Bandit, Adamant just goes in. I'm not running Jolly just because I feel E-Speed, it can be a revenge killer. What if it doesn't? What if it has a Jolly nature and it doesn't get the kill? Like you'll see later in the battle. Haxorus. This is a setup poke. I never used it. I've never used it competitively, and I thought this is a good time to use it, and it fits the team well. Roserade, because Roserade can finally shine in one of its teams that it's in. Roserade never gets to shine, really. Meloetta, which fits the team also very nicely. I know that everything I pulled together in this team fits each other. Bronzong, I never used it. It's defensive, has Stealth Rocks, and it has Toxic. Then Gyro Ball, it's relaxed nature, so Gyro Ball will be hitting at least better than it would when it's when it doesn't have a speed reducing nature. And I have him on top, which is a all around good wall. I'm adamant just so I can hit hard with fake outs because I know I'm going to be switching in on this thing a lot because it's not actually a defensive wall. It's actually specially defensive. So I have Assault Vest on it, and I'm not running Careful just because I know a little more power on fake out will do a lot. Will go a long way. I'm Assault Vest, and I have Intimidate, so physical attackers are now a little bit more weakened. He has a Fortress and Florges core. I can't complain. That's a pretty good core. Yeah, it's pretty good. Mega Ampharos, which is very threatening. Milotic, which I thought was especially defensive, but he actually in the battle was actually defensive. Roserade also has a Roserade and an Infernape. So let's get into this battle. Wow, excuse me. Sorry I haven't uploaded in a week, I think. But I'm back, and I have a really good Wi-Fi battle for you guys. So he leads off with this Infernape, so that probably means he's Scarfed. Like, it's either he's Scarfed or he's just the lead Stealth Rocks, but I was more drawn to the lead because, to Scarf because he has Fortress. I go on to him on top because it does have Intimidate, and this U-turn is not going to do that much. It does only 12 damage, so that's not bad. He goes on into his Florges, that's how you're gonna say it. But I go for the fake out. I know it's risky to stay in, but I just go for the fake out to get damage off. That doesn't do that much. It's not stab, it's not technician boosted, it's just not a fun time. So I just switched out. I know I wouldn't appreciate, I know I'm like especially defensive, but I don't want to take a Moonblast just because that's gonna hurt a little bit. So I got onto my Arcanine. I knew Roserade can take the hit, but this thing is especially defensive, so I don't want to take the chance and let it get a wish off. So I wanted to go on into my physical threat that can scare it out. Choice Bandit, Flare Blitz hurts. I didn't want to make any over predictions, so I just go for it. I just go bam, Flare Blitz, and look at this damage. That's pretty good damage, and the only reason why I didn't do more is because it's actually defensive. As you can see, he has a Rocky helmet, so imagine if it was especially defensive. I think that it would have done more. I have Ariana. I don't want to go back out into my Hitmontop just because it's been taking a lot of damage. This thing is Assault Vested, so it can take a lot of... Oh, never mind. I forgot to take off Assault Vest, but Leftovers also works well on it. So, yeah. I don't think... I meant to put Assault Vest, but I think the leftovers really came and helped me in this match. So he goes on into his Florges to take the incoming charge beam. That does nothing, like really it does nothing. So he can go for a Wish Orc, he can go for a Moonblast here. So I have a +1, but I'm not gonna stay in on this thing just because this +1 doesn't mean anything. It's still gonna eat up the next incoming hit. So I go on into my Bronzong here. Ben, shout out to Ben for this nickname. This is a really good nickname for a Bronzong when it's shiny. Yes, it is his. Maybelline comes out here, Mega Ampharos, and I watched his side of the battle, and he actually thought this thing was especially defensive just because it took a Volt Switch. It didn't take it very well, but it took the Volt Switch. It took it okay, so he thought it was especially defensive, but it's actually defensive. So yeah, he goes on into his Fortress here. I go for the Stealth Rocks because I know Stealth Rocks will be hurting the Florges on incoming switches and can window the Milotic down because it's already pretty low, I think. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's in yellow health. So I go back out into my Ariana here because I know it doesn't have the best special defense. So I can just go for, like, I can fire off Shadow Balls just in case anything wants to come in. Like, I can't go for a Psychic, obviously, because I don't want to over-predict anything. So I go for the Shadow Ball, get the special defense drop because I do have Serene Grace, so it does a lot. It does help a lot. He goes for Rapid Spin, and it does more than it should have. It does, I think, what do you call it? It does 11 damage. Yeah, it does 11 damage. That shouldn't be. It's not stab. It's not invested. And it's Rapid Spin base 20, so that just shows how Milotic's defense is not as great as his special defense. He goes back out into Florges here, and I do go for another Shadow Ball just because I think it would have killed that Fortress. I get the special defense drop, so that was really important in this game. That special defense drop really helped me, contributed to me killing this Florges. So I go for the Psychic here because that is stronger than Shadow Ball. It is stab. I get a crit. I think that kind of mattered, and I get a special defense drop again. So yes, you may say that's a little hacksy, but not really, because he gets a little hacks later on, as you'll see later. Crit, Psychic, stab. That really helped me. I go for the Hyper Voice here, so I used all 3 out of 4 of my moves, so he knows my whole set. But this is supposed to be Assault Vest, as you can see. That's why I have 4 moves, 4 attacking moves, no setup moves. But yeah, I killed off Florges, which is really helpful. Burnout comes out, and and he said he was Jolly, so Jolly Scarf is not something you should do. I would advise, if you're boosting one thing, if you're boosting one nature, go for go for an item that boosts the other helpful nature. So I actually do go for a Shadow Ball just in case he wanted to go for a U-turn. I saw he did have it, so I didn't want him getting anything for free. So I could have gone for a Psychic and not over-predicted, but I didn't, because that's the person I am. He goes back out into his... I go on to him on top. I get the Intimidate off, and it doesn't take it as well. It isn't defensive, so I can't blame it. I was actually about to go for a Fake Out, because that would have done a massive amount of damage. But he goes back out into his Ampharos, which is pretty healthy. I haven't taken any damage, but now he's going to take some Fake Out damage, which is not a lot. I go for the Rapid Spin here just because I don't want Rocks up. I think, yeah, my Meloetta is still at 1 HP, so that can actually be Death Fodder for a free switch. So he goes for the Volt Switch. I do take it fairly well. He goes on into his Roserade. I go for the Sucker Punch, and this actually does a lot of damage. Well, pretty good damage for being resisted. Not resisted, uninvested. Excuse me. Sorry. He does go for the HP Fire, because if it was HP Rock, it would have been resisted, but HP Fire on the Roserade, and it does kill. I go on to my Haxorus because I knew I could outspeed Rose rate is unfortunately base 90. If it was base 100, 100 speed, it would have been a lot better than it already is. I go for Earthquake just because that's the best thing to go for. This thing can't get a free switch in, but it takes the hit very well. So here I sack off my Ariana, but he actually goes for a Stealth Rock, so that's pretty good for me. I can get off a hit right before I go down. Or I think he switches here. I'm not sure. I'm getting ahead of myself. We both get leftovers recovery. He's back up to green health, but barely. He does switch out as I did say earlier. Switches out. Mold Breaker, Maybelline. I go for the Shadow Ball here because it is my safest play, and I don't get a special defense drop or a crit or anything. I was pretty sure I outspeed. Yeah, I did outspeed. Okay, I was thinking it didn't outspeed, but I get the Psychic off, and that does a lot of damage. The Meloetta really did do a good job in this battle. I can't blame it. It did a really good job in weakening the team. So I go down to Arcanine here, and this is a at this part when I was sending out Arcanine, I was really scared. That extreme speed did not look like it was about to kill. It did not. So imagine I was just jolly. So I'm not really sure if it was going to kill. Oh, okay. So my Logic wasn't actually at yellow health. But, excuse me, since I'm locked in, I do have to go for the extreme speed. Does a lot more than Flare Blitz did just because it's not resisted. And he was actually saying in his part that he should have gone for recover and stalled me out, which would have been a lot helpful for him. I think that would have won him the game, but he does not, unfortunately. So I think he wanted to kill my, he wanted to kill my Arcanine instead. So I do go on to my Roserade. I know since it's not especially defensive, it probably cannot live this incoming Sludge Bomb. I do have Roserade still. I still have my Bronzong, which was not useful to me in any way. I would have liked to have more HP to get more recoil damage, but I did take a lot of damage from that Volt Switch, so he's able to easily OHKO. Even if I am defensive, it's easily able to OHKO. Not real. If it was anime, it would have done a lot more in this battle. So I do go on to my Haxorus here, just because Haxorus can live a Flare Blitz very easily. Switches out here because he's locked in. You can see he actually not lead Stealth Rock. So I go for the Earthquake here. He felt his Roserade wasn't useful at the moment, so he just stacked it off. Very good play on his part because he didn't need it anymore. And his probably win condition is his Infernape. So here, I knew he had Explosion because I watched a battle with him. So I was very scared to lose my Haxorus because that was my win condition because, Roserade can easily die to a Flare Blitz. So I was very scared. So I wanted Roserade to take the Explosion. I'm sorry, Roserade, but you have to take it. Very sad. It didn't get to do as much. It did kill my Logic, but not that much either. Otherwise, so Haxorus comes out here. I do have to take the Stealth Rock damage because my Hitmontop did die, so I didn't get off a Rapid Spin. So this was a very scary part. He goes for close combat, and it doesn't kill. It leaves me at 11 HP, and I was able to go for a Dragon Claw. No way it's gonna live any hit. Even a resisted hit from that range will kill it. So I was just very happy. I won the match barely. So thank you, Jack, for that battle. Very fun, very intense. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And the like goal is 6 likes. I'll see you all later in the next upload, and peace out.